Hey everyone, Raelan here. I have got a quick video, a quick tip for you today about three ways actually, to lower your stress throughout the day, to keep your body in a healing state and keep your parasympathetic nervous system engaged so it's in that healing mode and doing all the amazing things that it needs to do for you to recover from chronic illness. It's been very important in my own journey, recovering from chronic fatigue syndrome, and many other people I talk to facing, ME, CFS, Long Covid, fibromyalgia, whatever it might be. I tell me that this is very helpful for them as well. So I talk about this in a lot of videos. I always worry that if this is your first video, you're like, what is this parasympathetic nervous system that you're talking about? Or if you've watched a bunch and you're like, Raelan, quit repeating yourself. You've told us this 1,000 times. But essentially it's about, lowering our stress, turning off that fight or flight response, and engaging the systems in our body that are necessary for us to heal. And we need to be calm and we need to be relaxed for this to happen. So I have 3 things here, and I've learned them from different sources. Many great books talk about this. I read recently a book called You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay, and it talks about how love and acceptance of who you are can do amazing things with health recovery. And I think it's because when we're chronically anxious or hating ourselves or stressed, we can't get our parasympathetic nervous system engaged. And with conditions like chronic fatigue syndrome, it's tough because our ability to manage our appearance often gets taken away from us. Even showering is difficult, and washing our hair, shaving, never mind going to the gym and staying in shape. And unfortunately, as a result of this, I think a lot of us start to beat ourselves up on a daily basis. And we might not even realize how often during the day we're doing this. Every time we catch a glimpse of ourselves, our reflection in a mirror or the window or a photograph, we're like, oh, I look terrible. I've put on weight. I've lost all my muscle. I used to be so strong. Oh my goodness, look at my hair. I haven't done anything with it in ages. And it's easy to underestimate what these constant negative self-hating comments are doing to our body. So this video is 3 tips for dealing with that, for dealing with how we think about ourselves and how to not get stuck in that self-hate and self-shame loop that puts our body in a stress state, makes us miserable, and can potentially keep us from healing. All right, so 3 ways to get your parasympathetic nervous system engaged, and they all involve mirrors. So the idea here is, instead of having mirrors being things in our life that make us feel bad about ourselves and bring us stress, we change our thoughts. We retrain our brain to use those mirrors as tools to make us feel better, to feel happy, and to love and accept who we are. And the first one is very simple, and I learned from author and motivational speaker Mel Robbins. And her tip that I started doing is, every time you go into the bathroom and you look at yourself in the bathroom mirror, high five yourself in the mirror. Actually touch the mirror, look at yourself in the eye, smile, and give yourself a high five. So it flips that response of going into the bathroom. Every time you're in the bathroom, which is probably multiple times a day, looking at yourself in the mirror and being like, my hair, my face, all those horrible things that so many of us say to ourselves. It just turns it around in an instant. It's a smile, it's a high five, it's like, hey, you're awesome. Now, a second way to use mirrors as tools to love and accept yourself is to, every time you are undressed, every time you are completely naked and you see yourself in the mirror, look at those parts of your body that you have told yourself, that society has told you that you're supposed to not like. Those parts of your body that you're supposed to hate, that you're supposed to be ashamed of, that you're supposed to be embarrassed of, and be doing everything you can to change them. And while you're looking at those parts of your body in the mirror, I want you to look right at them and say, I accept myself exactly as I am. Some people struggle to say, I love myself exactly as I am. Maybe that feels like too much of a stretch, but we can accept ourselves. We can look at ourselves and accept that, yeah, it's maybe not the perfect body. It's maybe if we could just design what we wanted, this wouldn't be it. But look at those parts of your body and say, I accept myself exactly as I am. and just feel. Feel your shoulders drop, feel tension pour out of your body, and start to feel more loving and accepting of yourself. Now, the third way is involving a mirror, but in a slightly different way. And it's to take a whiteboard marker and put every morning pick a mirror in your home and put 7 ticks. Now, your goal is by the end of the day for every one of those ticks that you've drawn, every one of those lines to be gone. And every one of those lines represents a hug. So your goal is to get in 7 hugs every single day, because we know that hugs do amazing things for calming our nervous system, and they make us feel loved and accepted. And it just helps us with that self-love and that acceptance of who we are. And it's another way to turn those mirrors around. If you've built up a negative or toxic relationship with the mirrors in your home, and now you see the mirrors and the lines, and it just reminds you of hugs. It reminds you of goodness. And if you live alone, you can hug yourself. Give yourself a hug right now and see how good it feels. Don't just do it lightly. Really give yourself a squeeze and imagine just pouring all this love into yourself. And it's just a really powerful thing. So there you go. Those are my 3 tips, 3 things that I do to have a healthier relationship with mirrors, have a healthier relationship with myself, and accepting and loving myself as I am, and strategies for just keeping my stress down throughout the day and keeping myself healthy and happy. What do you do? What works for you? Leave it in the comments. We'd love to hear it. So thank you for watching. That's it for today, and I will see you in the next video.